Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin continues to move in this messy range, has avoided to form one more high. It would be ideal for Bitcoin to form one more high. Maybe it gets it, and then we have actually 5 waves up, and we can basically reduce the likelihood for the yellow count, okay, which is the B wave top. So for anybody who's new on the channel, there is one expectation for Bitcoin to move to ideally 50,000 plus. I explained that also in the last update in very detailed form. That's sort of the base case. And then we have 2 pathways to get there. In the short-term bullish one and the short-term bearish one, we have different routes that the market can take. So let's talk about these 2 pathways. But overall, there is not really much more I can share to what I already shared yesterday, but still want to keep you up to date and take a look at any changes that potentially happened on the microstructure. So this is obviously the 1 hour chart. As I said, one more high is an ideal scenario. And again, there are 2 main pathways I see to get there. There is one, which is the short-term bullish one, which I currently primarily follow, but it's not high confidence because the structure itself, when we look at the micro pattern, is not very trustworthy. Bitcoin cannot really hold setups very well in the current scenario, even though the last setup here did hold. But Bitcoin cannot hold them very well at the moment. The wave counts, the microstructures change quite a bit at the moment. That's just a characteristic of the current pattern, which is just very messy. So the first scenario is that the market, put in a 3rd wave. That's anyway the base case here on the 8th of December. Then we saw an A wave down. Here would be the B wave. I haven't labeled that one, but this would be a B wave, and then a C wave down. And the wave 4 already bottomed. And we're basically now moving up in wave 5. And that would be a 5-wave move, and I'm tracking here a potential 5-wave move. That's what we are primarily following. It's the white subwave structure. I'm going to zoom in a minute, but first want to share with you that short-term bullish case and now also the short-term bearish one, because the short-term bearish one still allows for a breakdown, maybe not a substantial one, but back into the support area that you know about, between 34K and 39.4K roughly. And in this scenario, we have an A wave down, yes, of the 8th of December high. Then this would be a massive high B wave, but it's possible. This is the bearish alternative, basically. Let's call it just short-term bearish because it's not really bearish. And then a C wave down. And then we would move up higher. So it's, I think, very clear. It's just, I would like to see the price get to 50K plus. That would be ideal. The only question is, do we go there directly or after a small pullback, then go up? I personally would use pullbacks to add. But yeah, let's zoom in, go to the 30-minute chart, just to share with you the microstructure. So we talked about short-term bullish, short-term bearish, both 2 different pathways of the same scenario. Only my scenario would only change below 34,100, which is the main support at the moment from what I see now. Now, looking at the microstructure, however, we always need to understand what is the level that distinguishes between that short-term bearish and short-term bullish scenario. And that level is defined on this chart. It is 43,617. This is the level where the white count is likely going to break in its current form. That doesn't mean it couldn't transform, but the invalidation point is at 42,512. Yeah. And if that level breaks, we're likely also going to break below this ascending trend line. And there are basically 2 levels. One is the warning level here, which is the 43,617 level. That's not invalidation. It is what I would treat as invalidation. It's just a warning, basically. And the real official invalidation, but that's quite late, is going to be here, that wave 2 low that I just mentioned. So these are the 2 levels to watch. If they break, it basically confirms a C wave to the downside. At the moment, we only have 3 waves up. So I have this scenario of a B wave top still on the chart. However, the price still keeps pushing, and the support zone, our trading area support, did hold yesterday. And the market seems to be moving in this ending diagonal. Wave 1 to the upside, wave 2 to the downside, wave 3 to the upside. We talked about all that. Wave 4 to the downside, we talked about that. And yeah, wave 5 ideally is unfolding right now. And the next target would be 48,868 and then ideally a little higher to 50K. This is sort of the primary at the moment, primary scenario. As I said in the last video yesterday, we can keep focusing on that as long as yesterday's low is holding. So below that level, yeah, obviously things need to be adjusted and probabilities start to shift. And then if we break below support, things take their bearish route possibly. In terms of microstructure, I mean, this is now really not trustworthy at all, but it could be that this is an A wave, this is a B wave, and this is wave C of 5. Okay, and that's really all we can do at the moment. We need to see now if the market can break above yesterday's high. If that's possible, then 48,868 is the next target, and then 50K. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. If you're interested in daily updates, video updates about the S&P 500, as well as regular updates about stocks, like for example, Nvidia, what do we have? Nike, Tesla, Meta, and so on. Then check out our stocks and S&P 500 service. You'll also find the link in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.